This video dives into a tense and emotional hearing involving 17-year-old Dorian Camaro, who is facing serious charges of murder and aggravated robbery. The atmosphere is serious as both sides present their arguments, focusing on the defendant's background, the severity of the allegations, and the potential risks if he is released. The defense strongly pushed for a reduction in the bond, arguing that the situation had already changed significantly since the initial charge was filed. They pointed out that the charge was reduced from a more severe level, and emphasized that Dorian has no prior criminal history. According to them, he is still a high school student with a supportive family willing to ensure he follows all rules. Their goal was to show that he is not a danger if given a chance under strict supervision, and that the original bond amount was too high for someone in his situation. On the other hand, the prosecution raised serious concerns about public safety. They argued that the nature of the charges alone makes this a high-risk case. In addition, they mentioned that the defendant has connections outside the immediate area, including family in different cities, which could increase the possibility of him leaving and not returning. Their focus remained on ensuring that the community stays safe and that the defendant remains accountable throughout the process. After hearing both sides, the judge made a decision to reduce the bond from $500,000 to $250,000. While this may seem like a relief for the defense, the reduction came with extremely strict conditions. The defendant must remain under full GPS monitoring at all times, meaning every movement will be tracked closely. Even small movements outside permitted areas could trigger alerts. In addition, he is placed under strict house arrest. He is not allowed to leave his residence for any reason, including work or casual activities. The rules are so tight that even stepping outside to the yard or mailbox could cause a violation. On top of that, there are strict no-contact conditions, preventing him from communicating with certain individuals connected to the case. Overall, this hearing shows how carefully such decisions are made, especially when serious charges and a young defendant are involved. It reflects the balance between giving someone a chance before trial and ensuring that safety and accountability are not compromised.
And to the clerks, do double check. I've already signed investigation motion, but I have another one. So if you could just check to see if you all have it or I need to sign another one.
Yes.
All right, State, are you ready to proceed on the motion?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Cox, you may proceed.
All right, Judge, I called, at the court to take judicial notice that the bond in this case is set at $500,000.
Okay.
Be part of the bond. And I call Erica Murillo. Please. Fine. Maria, find your number Wayne. So Lawrence.
Hey, I'm with you.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up because the court reporter has to hear. Off the record for Cindy, do you want to give her one of those little microphones that may help you?
Oh, here, you can put this one.
Oh. Yeah.
No. You could just step up closer to the mic also.
Yeah. So, teaser. Here we go. All right. All right, if you'll state your name for the record.
Yes, ma'am. It's Erica Murillo.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
Thanks. And ma'am, Dorian Camarillo.
Camarillo.
Okay. Do you see him in the courtroom? Is he in the courtroom with us? Your son?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In your relationship, you're his mom, right?
Yes.
Okay, man. In terms of, do you live in San Antonio?
Yes.
Okay, and how long have you lived in San Antonio?
I'm going to 3 years now.
And presently, you live in a house or apartment?
When we used to live in Dallas, a house.
Okay, but here you live in an apartment now, or
A house.
A house. Okay, and who normally lives in that house with you?
My son, my daughter, and myself,
Okay.
and my pets.
Now, in terms of your son Dorian, how old is he?
Dorian, he's 17.
17 years old.
Yeah.
Is he a high school student?
Yes.
What school does he?
Reagan High School.
And
All right, just one second, off the record. Now, he's already on it. Sorry, Mr. Cox, we were just cleaning up a matter. Mr. Cox, you may continue.
all right. And your son is you indicate that he's in high school, correct?
Correct.
And is a Reagan High School,
Yes, sir.
and that high school is in San Antonio.
Correct.
And what grade is he?
11.
Second grade. So you anticipate that he will be graduating high school next year?
2026.
Now, are you employed here in the city?
Yes, sir.
How are you employed?
FedEx. Ground.
Now, ma'am, you understand that your son filed said at $500,000.
Yes, sir.
That's something that you could. Well, with his bond set at $500,000, can you bond it?
We have family. They can help us. Yeah.
But you can't. Can you make the $500,000?
No, 500,000. Maybe a little bit lower. That works for us. Yeah.
Now, your son presently, is he presently employed?
He was, whenever the summer school, that's when he used to work.
Basically, he's a full-time student, correct?
Yes, only on summer he used to do it.
Does he have money in the bank?
No,
Does he own any property?
no,
So we basically, in terms of the house where he lives with you.
yes,
And you provided basically.
correct.
And you support not only him, but his sister also.
My daughter, yeah. I have a daughter. Awesome. And my pets.
Okay. Pass with you.
All right, State.
Ms. Murillo, you said you currently live in San Antonio, is that correct? Okay, and you said you've lived here for about 3 years, is that correct?
Yes,
And you lived in Dallas before that?
20 years.
Okay, do you still have family in Dallas?
Yes.
Okay, what does that consist of up in Dallas?
That's family. Dorian's dad.
That's Dorian's dad, that's
The family.
okay, and he has family up there as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and did Dorian attend school up in Dallas?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, up to what grade did he go to school up there?
We moved from Dallas to Virginia when he was 11.
Okay, and so he attended school from the time he was 11 until 3 years ago in Dallas?
No, he was born in Dallas. So he went to pre-K all the way when he was 11. So then we moved to Virginia for like 3 years. And he attended school over there.
Okay.
And then we moved back to San Antonio.
Okay, so let me see if I'm following you correctly. So Dorian, your son, he was born in Dallas, is that correct?
Yeah.
And so you lived there with his father in Dallas when he was born?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you lived there for some time until Dorian was 11, is that
11.
correct? Okay, and then at that time you moved to Virginia. Okay, and so do you have family in Virginia as well?
No, that's because of daddy's job. He do a construction environment.
Okay. Okay, and so did Dorian attend school in Virginia as well?
Yes.
Okay, so it's fair to say he probably has friends still in Dallas and probably in Virginia.
More in Dallas.
More in Dallas?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you all moved to San Antonio 3 years ago?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you said that you live in a home currently, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you renting that home or do you own it?
No, we rent.
Okay. And your daughter that you also have to support, how old is she?
My daughter Sabrina, she's 15.
Okay. And so she's not working, is that correct?
No.
Now you said that you work at FedEx, is that correct? Is that full-time or part-time?
Kind of like part-time.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your working hours?
From 3 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
Okay. And what is your hourly rate that you get paid? $20 an hour. Do you get any extra compensation for working like a differential shift overnight?
No.
No? Okay. And how many hours per week do you work?
25,
25.
27 sometimes.
Okay, at $20 per hour.
Mm.
So you stated that have you contacted any bonding companies yet?
Yes,
Okay, about how many have you contacted?
like 2 of them.
Two, okay. And you stated that you've kind of started to gather family to help you?
Yes.
Okay, and so that's a resource that you have, your family is willing to help you to make a bond decision, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and you stated Dorian in the summers that he used to be employed, where he used to work at?
With Daddy.
Oh, in the construction?
Mhm.
Okay. And so, do you have a car?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you own that car?
No, I'm doing it all.
Okay. We have to listen to them.
Any further questions?
Nothing further.
All right, thank you. I'll leave with the court reporter.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We rest.
All right, state any you can have a seat. State any witnesses?
Witnesses, Judge, but at this time we offer State's Exhibit number 1 for the purposes of this hearing.
Any objections?
Objection, Judge, that is not evidence. They're proffering. I presented evidence. So that proffering, and this is not evidence. So I would object to it. That's grounds.
All right.
In the proper cause hearing, I think sometimes you can use hearsay, those types of things. But for evidentiary hearing,
But also for bond reductions, correct?
Yeah.
Because the rules of evidence don't apply to bond reductions. Am I incorrect?
I think for a someone, with my position that is that someone would have to be the person that they would present the evidence. Just by, I can put in a encyclopedia and say, well, just look at this. Someone would need to be able to make the correct profit. I don't make the correct profit.
Okay. All right. The objection will be overruled and the court will review State's Exhibit number 1 just for purposes of this hearing. And if y'all will step back while I read this. All right. The court has read State's Exhibit number 1. And Mr. Camarillo, the court is reading State's Exhibit number 1 really for the sole purpose of making a determination on what your bond should be set at. That will ensure the safety of the community and also ensure that you appear at court.
Yes, John.
That's what this entire hearing about. The State's Exhibit number 1 is not for me to review it in light of does the state prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt? Because that's something.
Reserved to close.
All right, so we're back on the record. In 2025 CR 006058A, State versus Dorian Camarillo. The parties reannounced.
Megan Galloway for the state.
Cornelius Scott for the defendant.
All right, and so we were proceeding with closing arguments and the defense had reserved their
Yes.
closing. You may proceed, counsel.
Judge, one thing I notice most times when the state makes their positions on bond, their goal, if the person has a prior record, that's one of the first things that we hear. Nothing, solid. Client doesn't have a prior record. Secondly,
as the hearing comes to a close, the situation remains serious and far from resolved. While the reduction in bond may seem like a step forward for the defense, the strict conditions attached to it make it clear that this is not freedom, but a tightly controlled release. Every movement, every action, and every decision the defendant makes will now be closely monitored, leaving no room for mistakes. This moment also highlights the weight of responsibility placed on the defendant and his family. With such severe charges still pending, the focus now shifts to how well these conditions are followed and what unfolds next in the case. It's a reminder that even small violations could have major consequences, potentially changing the course of everything. As the story continues, the uncertainty remains high. The outcome is still unknown, and the stakes are incredibly serious. What happens next will not only impact the defendant's future but will also shape how this case is ultimately remembered.